Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're all doing really well. This reading is for November from the 6th to the 12th. And let's see what the cards have to say. So I'm honestly not sure how this spread is going to work itself out. I only usually do a specific type. It's more out of habit than anything. However, as I was pulling oracle cards, there was quite a few cards that I wanted to use. I think I need the space here. And so I'm just gonna I have 5 cards here. Let's do an oracle card for each one. So just mixing it up a little bit. I want to make sure you can see that. So each oracle card obviously will be, I already pulled one from there, will be clarifying cards. Yeah, so a little bit different today. Okay, so our first card, our significator card, is the Hermit. So this is telling me that collectively we're doing some inner work. We're learning about ourselves. There's parts of us that are being illuminated as we are living our life. There are things coming up, parts of ourselves that are, there's like opportunities here, opportunities where we're being triggered in a certain way, and we're being asked to bring this into light, to understand what it is that, where we're coming from, what it is that is causing us to react, what beliefs are we holding, or old programs are we operating from, which are arising right now from outside stimuli. So this is being clarified by the assertiveness card. Stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. This really ties in with the weekend reading, which I had just posted on Friday the 2nd. And I'll put the link to that below if you haven't seen it. And that was a lot about, and really just about, drawing lines in the sand and going in a direction that aligned with who we are and our own values, and saying no or yes depending on that. And anyway, so with this particular reading, this is what is being reflected. This is what is coming up for us in our outside world, in our lives, and how these reactions and then so we're being asked to bring these to light and understand ourselves, knowing ourselves, new aspects of ourselves, these parts that are coming up where we are reacting, and so that we may choose from a place of power and not default. And that is the path that we are on for this week. It seems to me that this is a week of growing personally. So next we have the world. Yeah, so this is reflecting to me that this is part of the cycle of our lives. This is where we are right now. And so this is also just feeling like success, but also, I mean, this is a really positive card as I'm perceiving it. But this is just, it's the learning and leveling up and learning ourselves more in order to release more of what doesn't serve us. So that we can continue to grow and evolve. This is being clarified by, you were born to create. So really, it doesn't get much clearer than that. So we are in this growth. We're letting go of things that create stagnancy and these old beliefs, and so that are being reflected to us in circumstances outside of us, so that we can choose from a place of power. And this is part of our growth and reminding us that we are creators. So we are letting go of limitations, limiting patterns and beliefs. So next we have the Two of Wands. So I'm feeling with this particular card that we are tuning into our higher selves and spirit and co-creating what we want our lives to look like. What do we want the world to look like? How can we approach our lives from a different perspective, from a place of newness, almost like rebirth, so that we can approach opportunities. Perhaps it's something that we don't see as an opportunity, but we want to perceive it as an opportunity. Whereas in the past, perhaps we saw the challenges, or in general, an overall anxiety or overwhelm. And there's like an aspect of us that wants to call ourselves out and say, why am I settling for this? How can I feel and experience this differently so that I am approaching my life with excitement and joy? And this is the part of the transformation of what's being reflected back to us, becoming assertive and knowing ourselves and what it is that we do want as we are creating our world from this place of expansion and unlimited potential. This is being clarified with Gemini cross-pollinate. And this to me I'm feeling is just reflecting again what I was picking up in one of these other cards, the world perhaps, and you were born to create, and the co-creating with the universe, that you're not on this journey alone, and you are teaching yourself and guiding yourself along your journey. And as we are facing fears, those limiting parts of ourselves that want to be acknowledged, that want to come up, and how we can choose not to avoid them because they're uncomfortable or scary, or we feel anxiety around it, but rather face them with compassion, approach these parts of ourselves as a loving mother to her own child, and ask it what it needs. What are you trying to tell me? What am I not seeing that I need to see? What do I need to understand? And then approaching it from that kind of perspective, rather than going into the old conditioned response of avoidance because it feels uncomfortable. But yeah, so it's approaching our perspective of our lives from a completely different view based on what is coming up to us, and going in and doing the shadow work here. So next we have the Knight of Swords. So I'm seeing this as us, collectively taking action in the world, making changes within our lives. Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing the clarifying card, action. So yes, just exactly what I just said. So definitely this is about us making changes in our lives, so that we are experiencing our lives in a different way, in a more harmonious way, in a way that lifts us up, freeing ourselves, liberating ourselves from these old beliefs through recognizing the limiting parts of ourselves. And I keep coming back to that just because that is the significator card. That's the energy I felt. That's what this whole reading is about. So I'm seeing just a week of growth and opportunity within ourselves to birth ourselves differently in each moment as we are living throughout this next week. I'm sure this is further than a week. Yeah, and I would say it is, at least for this cycle until we reach the cycle of Gemini, the astrological time of Gemini. And so, yeah, we're cutting things out. We're drawing lines in the sand, which I had said in the weekend reading, that we are choosing from a place of empowerment, self-empowerment, rather than a place of fear or limitation, or feeling that, others know better than us, or others can have an effect in our life, which this is not the case at all. That's just one example, but there are many, many examples of how this is going to show up in our lives. And for each one of us, it's going to be different. But I'm loving that we are making changes based on this, that we are really taking control of what is happening in our lives. So finally here we have the Ace of Wands. So with these changes within us and recognizing the limited parts of us, the parts that operate from fear, there is new opportunities coming. There is, in this learning of who we are and letting these parts go that don't serve our highest good, that don't serve us on a collective level. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that little glitch there. I had a very important phone call I had to answer. So the Ace of Wands, yes. So with this whole energy this week, as we are releasing these old parts of us, the parts that are the limiting, the parts that want our attention, we are opening ourselves up to not only new ways of being in the world, but we are becoming aware of it's almost like sparks of creativity that are being ignited within us, so that are going to lead us into new interests, into new hobbies, perhaps a change of job even, which would be, tremendous. Or perhaps we feel we're drawn to an area that we want to live or we want to explore, but definitely awakening to new passion projects, whatever it might be. For each of us, it'll be individual. And this is clarified by seeing beyond. So to me, this is very profound. These two cards just scream to me that these aspects of creativity that we're going to be opening ourselves into, that are going to be undeniable, that we feel so strongly compelled to follow, are leading us on a journey of greater fulfillment, more self-learning, more learning of the self, opening up new doorways of perception, creativity, and manifestation in ways that we have never experienced before. So I'm feeling a lot of abundance, a lot of harmony, more peace, joy, happiness. And I just want to add in here, so as I was shuffling the tarot cards, I had two jumpers. Now they came out individually. The first was the moon. So again, reflecting these parts of us. To me, this is exactly what I was feeling in the Hermit. So parts of us that are asking for our attention, that are ready to be acknowledged and released, so that we may heal and exist in a way and create from a way we've never done before. But also we have the Magician, which is telling the same story. So very powerful reading this week. We have actually these two jumpers, and then we're starting with the Hermit. So we have three major arcana cards. So this is life-changing stuff here. This is, although I said, this runs, so I'm going to say yes, this particular cycle of what we are working through, how we are transforming, is running to the time of the sign of Gemini. But this is life altering. This is like our path. Our paths change. They have to. How can they not? Because we have internal changes and awakenings happening that is changing the course of our life. Not only changing the course of our life, but it's going to affect those around us as well. So that is, to me, a very powerful message from Spirit, from the cards. Absolutely beautiful. Not an easy passage. I almost want to say rite of passage, and it kind of is. but this growth cycle that we are embarking on collectively and individually, because it's each going to run its own cycle depending where we are in our own growth and in our own lives and our own level of awareness of ourselves and how well we know ourselves. But there's going to be a lot more of that coming up for us, the opportunity. So I just want to reiterate once more, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I am sending you so much love. And remember that you are loved so much. And please be gentle with yourself. Please be compassionate with yourself. It's got to start with you. And forgive yourself for whatever you believe you may not be perfecting. Because again, it just comes back to those limitations. We're just all here doing the best we can, figuring it out as we go. And so yeah, just give yourself a break and support and be compassionate to all those around you, because we're all experiencing our own challenges and experiences, whether they're good or bad, and we're all going to have all of it. So that's part of why we're here. So I'm rambling on, so I'm going to let you go. But if you're still here, I thank you again. And please be well and take care. And we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.